Hello, everybody. Hi, and happy Saturday. So the Mueller report is in. I hope everybody's excited. This is good news. We're starting to have a little bit of transparency. I know when I did my meditations a couple of weeks ago, I started seeing the Mueller investigation getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and that Barr did not like all the attention on the Justice Department and the FBI, and so they wanted to break it into smaller investigations. I think we recorded that about a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and that instead the report would be focusing mostly on the Trump Tower meeting and the testimony of Hope Hicks. Now, there's no indictments recommended at this time, but probably future indictments are going to come down through DC, SDNY, and there's future investigations happening in other states. I think there's New Jersey investigations, international investigations in terms of laundering, etc. I think the president's in a lot of trouble. I think his children are in a lot of trouble. If it continues with impeachment hearings, which inevitably it will, and that's the roadmap that seems to be being set up. I don't like the fact that the Republicans are basically farming everything out so that the things can get back to normal. They don't like all this attention on Mueller. More discreet investigations. I don't like the fact that it's almost like the Republicans expect the Democrats to do all the work, which is that they're the ones that are going to have to do the impeachment hearings, etc. If the president can work out a deal where he takes an early resignation, confesses to a lesser sentence, he might be able to get immunity for him and his children. But even that, I don't even know if that's going to be on the table if things continue in this direction with state investigations, etc. I think Don Jr. is in a lot of trouble, and I think people that have been reassured that there are no further indictments need to hold off on celebrating, because I still see Kushner and Don Jr. in very serious trouble. And just because it's not Mueller that's the one that's going to be overseeing that, it's not over. Let's just go ahead and we're going to we'll throw some cards. I think I'll use the old deck today. It's all straight up, so we can just get some basic information about what is going on. I know that Trump right now is in Mar-a-Lago with his family and with his supporters from DC, and I know that Lindsey Graham went to be with him. So it kind of harkens back to the days of the olden days when the king or the queen was in trouble and she was facing execution in the Tower. Her ladies in waiting and attendants would be with her while she awaited her fate. That's kind of how it feels, the energy of Mar-a-Lago right now. But let's take a look. Let's take a look at let's try and see what's going to happen in the next couple weeks. All right, what is the country going to do over the next couple of weeks, and what will be with the president and his family? Let's see if we can I'm just going to do a general. I saw all those cup cards, which is why I think the president's being given offers, resignation offers. Remember, we had done a remote where we saw that what Mueller really wanted was a sealed confession. What is going to happen to this country in the next couple weeks as a result of the Mueller report? First feeling I'm getting is like feeling of fighting for territory. Base card, heartbreak. So there's a general feeling in the country of heartbreak. People are very upset about the report, and what pushes in under it is the head or the leader. Heartbreak attached to leadership. There's a heartbreak regarding some aspect of leadership or the head. You could say this is the president's card. Where they're at right now, confusion. Doesn't surprise me we have a moon card as the first card because nobody knows what the report is going to say. There's a tower right over us. Barr was going to release the report today. Now he's decided to wait another day. Something's coming, and there's something he found in the report that's quite... It's going to unhinge us. There's something about this that's going to unhinge us. The eyes will be opened. We've got a beautiful high priestess energy moving in. Torah, light bearer. The light will be revealed. I like that. And what she sits in the fourth house. What is going on in the fourth house? How money was harvested. I think that there's going to be a lot on illegal campaign financing issues regarding money. They followed the money. Something's going on with it. They got caught because of money and how the money was harvested, laundering money, etc. Fear, death, that it's over, and the reaction, 9 of Wands. Feeling cornered due to enlightenment. Feeling cornered due to new information coming out. You can see here what is coming in. Some awareness or the open energy of the high priestess, the eyes being opened, and then a 9 of Wands, taking a position of defensiveness. Remember when I said before I opened the cards that the energy I felt when I was in the presence of the energy was a feeling like everyone's going to start fighting for their own territory? That's exactly how I feel when I look at the 9 of Wands. So the report is going to cause more fighting and more conflict. It's not a resolution. In fact, quite the opposite. There's going to be... It's disruptive of the order, any way you look at it. And this is now, like within the next, I would say 48 to 72 hours. I mean, it's like right over us. This is crazy. I can't believe what we're living through. Negotiations. I'm telling you, this president's being given the opportunity to resign. It's not over. He was given offers. They negotiated for a long time. That's what I got. And the president turned down the offers because he was delusional enough to believe that he could win. And he can't win. It's very sad. It's very sad to see someone's world fall apart. It's very sad to see someone's world fall apart, even if there's somebody who did something bad. That's just the kind of a person I am. I just wish that everybody would be nice to each other. You know, I wish we could all just be kind to each other. We're going to have a very clear idea in less than 2 weeks about where we're headed. And remember, let me talk about this. You remember when I had said that the truth was going to come out and then there was going to be 2 factions, one that was going to want the president to be indicted, and they were going to want the stiffest penalty, and the other that was just going to want him to resign and just the country get back to normal? Something is coming. And it's going to cause a division in the country where it will form 2 main factions, and it'll be the compassionate people who are trying to have a heart about everything that's happening, and they just not to be focused on revenge. And then there is another branch that has no empathy at all for this president, and just they want the full extent of the law to come down. I want to be very clear here. This suggests a very serious accusation against the president. And that people will begin to defend their positions. It does not bode well for the president. Okay, so people should not break the law. All right, I'm going to look at Don Jr. today just because I saw him being indicted and it did not recommend an indictment at this time. So I'm trying to, and I still see him going to jail. So I just want to check what the future is of Don Jr. He signed some checks. So did his sister. Let's take a look. All right, Don Jr. What's coming for Don Jr.? What is coming for Don Jr.? Base card, Karma, coming out, King of Wands, coming in. I always think of cups as offers, healing, the healing waters. Ten of Swords. If they handed everything over as part of an active investigation that had already been going on at SDNY, then there's no reason for it to be Mueller that indicts him. It would be better, since the investigation started and was a long investigation at SDNY that's gone on for something like 13 years. I think when we accessed records on Michael Cohen, we were able to see something like in 2011 the feds started to take note of his activity, and we do know that it's been a couple of years publicly that they've been looking at him. So if Mueller throws him to the wolves, if he takes everything he had and throws it to the SDNY, which already had an open case against this family, that would explain why the Ten of Swords is right over Don Jr. This is not good news for Don Jr. Four of Wands, April, the 4th month. I read Wands as month cards. Boy, remember how I said mid-April? Even though the report is here now in March, it feels like mid-April is significant. Strength. Well, he's going to need it. Communication, negotiations with other. Grief. You can see here, grief card, 5 of Cups. Action, reaction. Here's the King of Pentacles, again, the businessman or business dealings. Where he's at right now. Growth. Worries, hopes and fears. I don't even think he wants to stay in the United States right now. You know, what people don't know is that he really likes living outside the U.S., Don Jr., in many ways. He has family from, his mother was born outside the United States. He has family in Eastern Europe. He spent time in Eastern Europe. He perhaps dreams of maybe retiring in Eastern Europe. He's got, his grandparents took care of him in the summers in Eastern Europe. So I think that he's going to try and negotiate some kind of a deal. I think there's criminal charges right over him, or some kind of an investigation. And I think that Mueller was responsible for collecting a lot. Mueller had access. You have to realize that Mueller had access to resources that other investigators did not have. And so what appears to have happened is that Mueller used those resources to fill in loose ends on previous criminal investigations, some of which had been stonewalled or had not been able to move forward. All of that stuff was handed over. Mueller was able to find out a bunch of that stuff. So that I still see a bad outcome for Don Jr. And unfortunately, I see bad news coming for him. I see bad things coming for anybody that attended that Trump Tower meeting. And the reliable witness, the person whose testimony was taken seriously, who got immunity, was Hope Hicks. That I still stand by that. All right, so let's just wait for the next 48 to 72 hours to see what happens, but expect two camps to form as that tower hits us. The tower's right over us. Those people that want a full indictment and those that simply want a resignation and for the country to move on. And we'll just see how it unfolds. Don't worry, everybody. Everything's going to be fine. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time. Bye.